Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gifts, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee.
You sure? It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee?
I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it.
Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome, welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? I hope you are doing well. There is a bunch of stuff going on here. Needed the day off yesterday. It was good to take it off from both the morning grind and table talk. I was getting stuff done, and so there's a lot to talk about right here. I hope everybody is doing great. Let's see. We got Tomocrat here. We got Mike. Good morning. Good morning. Sable's here. Lynn. Good morning. Good morning. Great to see everybody. James is here. Good morning. All right. So basically what I want to talk about today is I've got a bunch of material up and ready. Not quite all of it, but a lot of material up and running for going ahead and playing our first RavenCon to get this up and running. And so I've been working on basically getting a whole bunch of little things together. I don't have the tickets ready, but I got the sign up pages, all of that. What we're going to need now is people. What we're going to need now is people who are interested. So, all right, let's breathe and sip this morning. Let's go ahead and get it going with some breathing and sipping. Hey, Michael. All right. So everybody got your favorite beverage this morning. I've got mine in hand. Let's do 2 deep breaths, complete inhales, complete exhales, and then take a sip of your favorite beverage this morning. So here we go. Let's breathe. And sip. There we go. All right, that sounds good. All right, so the first thing that you may have mentioned is that you may have seen is that I did make up some trailers for what we're doing to basically explain this, because one of the things that, of course, is going on is we got to tell people what this is that we are doing and what we've made out here, because we're a tight-knit group here on the Morning Grind, but there aren't too many people who know beyond just us here on the grind what this is and what we're doing here. So that's why I made up trailers and then also landing pages for what we've got. So, all right, so I made up this main RavenCon trailer. Want to play tabletop games but don't have a group? Join us for RavenCon, the online tabletop gaming convention. RavenCon is hosted in an online coffee shop where your avatar can walk around, meet people, and interact with them like at a physical convention. When you sit down at a table, the software connects you to a video call with everyone at the table and brings up the virtual tabletop where everyone can play. We've got lots of great games built out and ready to play, including Hero Quest, the classic game of dungeon delving,
Shadow Dark,
the old school style RPG by Kelsey Dion,
Dragon Strike,
TSR's answer to Hero Quest,
Wizard's Quest,
the classic Risk-like Avalon Hill game. We'll be adding more games as we go. The next RavenCon event is coming soon. Sign up to know when it launches and enter to win free admission to the event. You can also learn how to enter the giveaway for over $500 worth of dice. Let's play games and have some fun. Click the link below to sign up. It's time for RavenCon. I think that does a pretty good job of explaining what it is that we are doing here and what the whole build out is. Because I think it's a really unique idea. I think that everything that is putting both of those elements together, being able to walk around, so it's not just a list of links to go to different rooms, but something physical, interactivity. I loved it when I was at different events that used the software so that we could actually interact with people casually in advance of our games, just like you would as you were walking around. I think it works really well. I don't think people know about that, though, so I put that trailer together. So I put that trailer together, and then I did another one specifically for Hero Quest. Are you playing as much Hero Quest as you'd like? If not, come and join us for some online gaming. The Hero Quest game system is built out in an easy-to-use virtual tabletop. It's part of an online coffee shop where your avatar can walk around, meet people, and interact with them just like at a physical convention. When you sit down at a table, the software connects you to everyone else at the table through a video call and brings up the virtual tabletop so everyone can play. The next RavenCon event is coming soon. Sign up to know when it launches and enter to win free admission to the event. You can also learn how to enter a giveaway for over $500 worth of Cthulhu horror dice. So come on in, let's play some games and have some fun. Click the link below to sign up and know when the next RavenCon event goes live. So that one's Hero Quest specific, but we found out that Hero Quest was a really great game to play inside this kind of system. Because we played Dragon Strike and Hero Quest. Everybody had a lot of fun playing Hero Quest. A lot of fun playing Hero Quest in our Session 0 test. And so I'll be running some of that. But of course, we've got other games as well, like we're just talking about here. Kelsey knows I've made this, but I've reached back out to her. Let me see if I have another email from her. I messaged her yesterday and sent her the dedicated. I made a dedicated Shadow Dark trailer as well, since we have it up. But Charlie says both games were blast. I mean, I think so too. I think that both were, absolutely. But I reached out to Kelsey and I put this Shadow Dark. I sent her the Shadow Dark trailer, and I also posted it to their Discord server. But here is our Shadow Dark trailer. Ready to play Shadow Dark, the new RPG by Kelsey Dion? Join us for RavenCon, a completely online gaming convention. We have the Shadow Dark RPG built out in an easy-to-use virtual tabletop. We have first-level characters set up and ready to play, as well as a setup for taking a stack of 0th-level characters through a savage gauntlet to see who will survive. This Shadow Dark build is part of an online coffee shop where your avatar can walk around, meet people, and interact with them like at a physical convention. When you sit down at a table, the software connects you to a video call with everyone at the table and brings up the virtual tabletop where everyone can play Shadow Dark. The next RavenCon event is coming soon. Sign up to know when it launches and enter to win free admission to the event. You can also enter a giveaway for over $500 worth of Cthulhu horror-themed dice. So come on in, let's play some games and have some fun. Click the link below to sign up to know when the next RavenCon event goes live. So I think all three of those trailers work pretty well. Of course, the general RavenCon, to let everybody know what that is, but then we've got lots of people around, especially on this channel, who are HeroQuest fans. And that's probably because I put out a whole bunch of HeroQuest material, videos, because I myself am a HeroQuest fan. But hey, we built out Shadow Dark, still want to do the index card RPG, and then some other things, but I think we've got more than enough to get started. So I put those videos out. Now, Sable says, I've watched and liked all the trailers for RavenCon. Yes, thank you. Thank you, because we do need more people. We need people to like that. Obviously, in many ways, I suppose this is this endeavor here has generally been a failure of the YouTube channel here, because, I mean, of the 16,000 people who like this channel, you would think, you know, the trailer's only been watched like 100 times or something like that. So you would think of the different 16,000 people who like who have liked or subscribed to the channel, that we would have enough to actually run a convention. But we need to get the word out, because relying on organic YouTube algorithms to say something cool is going on and that people should see a trailer or something is not really something that happens. So, you know, and that's a shame to me, because, you know, of all the different people who I've been, you know, connected with over the past few years, even through Infinite Black and all of that, I'd love to be able to meet more of them in person and play games. We just got to get the word out. So there we go. Robert says the RavenCon demo was awesome. So both Charlie and Robert, and Sable, were in the Session 0 test, where we ran 2 different games and got everybody into the coffee shop. It was fantastic. Andrew says, got my Kickstarter book, but haven't read it yet. Oh yeah, I need to update the Kickstarter, because Andrew was talking about the Trial of St. Gabriel. So I ordered all of those, and I did send out everybody once I was sent a tracking number for your book. I messaged everybody with their tracking number. I need to check that this afternoon and see if there are any outstanding at the printer. As soon as the printer sends me a tracking number, I pass it right along. But I need to look at the status of that. But that, thank you very much for being a part of that, Andrew. So that is going well, and it's actually just about to wrap up. Michael says, the only thing I would suggest is to note that RavenCons happen more often than once a year, like other cons. Yeah, okay, let's talk about that in just a moment, because I wasn't sure, as I was putting all this stuff out, like exactly, or building out the site, when exactly the first event would be. But now I'm thinking March 2nd. I think we can organize for March 2nd. That's a Saturday. Where was I going with that? Oh, but yes, I wanted people, but I didn't want people to see, what I didn't want was people to see a date and be like, oh, well, I can't make that, so I won't sign up. Because I do want to do more than once a year, obviously. I would like to do more regularly. And like Sable has asked before, like, isn't this a situation where we could have the coffee shop up for people just to come in and play games and organize? And potentially, yes, but I have also been looking for the best way to do that. Because of course, it's not like this is a completely custom built system or anything like that. I have to work within the constraints of, okay, I'm using this system and then integrating with this system and figuring out which one works. Because I think it would also be great to be able to not only have, okay, we actually have an event date once a month or something like that, maybe twice a month, but you know, there's an event date, something like monthly, but then also there could be people who are interested in organizing games organically and coming into the coffee shop and playing and having access to it. I would love that. We have to have enough people to make that worthwhile. Because, I mean, having the coffee shop set up there, right? Especially if you're going to do this organically, because everybody's got different schedules and things like that. So you have to have a lot of people to be able to say, hey, I'm free Wednesday night and I need this particular, or I'd like to play this particular type of game, or I need this particular Hero Quest run. I really need to like to do Quest 3. Would anybody be willing to run that game or something like that? So first of all, you need to be able to coordinate that. And then you have to have enough people in order to also make it something that is continuing. So let's see. Yeah, Mike says, unless I look for your videos, the YouTube algorithm doesn't always pop up your new videos for me. And I think that's pretty basic. I mean, I think it's pretty standard. So I've never, I've been trying this live streaming for a year and a half now. But yeah, in general, I don't rely on organic. We can't rely on organic reach or something like that, because nobody will ever see something organically. Michael says, I hope that some part of it's during a time I might be able to be on, but if not, I hope the whole thing goes well. Oh, Charlie also got the Trial of St. Gabriel today. Excellent. Yeah. I mean, this should be something that can be iterated a lot more than just once a year, because that was, one of the things. Okay, everybody can get out to Gen Con and Origins, and I love that. But hey, we can, if we're online, we can do this a bit faster. Have I ever reached out or talked to Dungeon Delver? I have not. I do not know who that is. I will look that up. Dungeon Delver. Look up Dungeon Delver. Good morning, RPG Exile. So Michael says, are those vids in the short section? No, they're not in the short section, because they're not formatted, vertically for shorts. They're actually just standard YouTube videos. Yeah, March 2nd. Yes. Okay, I will reach out. Micah says, I always either watch a video or add it to a playlist in the channels I subscribe to, so I haven't missed anything from a channel save shorts. Robert says, the system would need to be automated to fill out rooms at a scale like online Texas Hold'em. Yeah, so we're going to have to do manual scheduling at first and signups. But yeah, need a large. Yeah, I don't think we're there yet. Need a very large community to constantly fill rooms. If you're sent in and you're sent to a room, I don't know how they actually organize online Texas Hold'em. I've never played. I could cut them into shorts. We'll see. I could do that. I could take those, I think, and make them into shorts. I'll make a note of that. I had that on a potential list of things to do, but have not been able to yet. But make RavenCon trailers into shorts. All right. Let's see. I've also reached out. I also reached out to Professor Dungeon Master. I was looking for other people who might be interested in having their games featured or be able to teach games. I'm hoping that Kelsey knows at least a few people who might be willing to, or at least one or two people who might be willing to run a Shadow Dark game, who know it and who play it. Because I know there are people who are interested. Like somebody might be able to run a 0th level dungeon or a gauntlet or a first level game. I'm hoping that that's the case. I just haven't heard back from her. I also reached out by Twitter to Professor Dungeon Master, because he's got Deathbringer. We looked at Deathbringer on this channel as well, and I think it would be neat. Seems like a fun one to play too. I wonder if he has people in his community who would be interested in playing Deathbringer, but who haven't been able to play yet and would like to. And maybe somebody who could run a game of Deathbringer or two. I think that would be fun. Let's see. Reach out to the Society of Role-Playing Gamers. I'll make note of that. I don't know the Society of Role-Playing Gamers. The Society. Talk to Treant Monk. He might enjoy the experience. He's been spotlighting other games and creators a lot lately. All right. Media Blitz. I don't know Treant Monk. Look up Treant Monk. All right. So we got that going on. So I did also, so I'll take that. Let me take that down. So I put up a better, rather than just having a Google form in the beginning, I put up a landing page right here so that people can sign up. So I put this at the beginning, and it's down below too. Here is sign up. Right there. Runehammer. See, Runehammer. We have him on the list to reach out to. I don't know if we have done that yet for Table Talk, but I wonder if I could get in here and really make an index card RPG build out, and then like, is that something I need to try to tackle today? There's a lot that I'm trying to tackle right here with this, but or I could get interest first, see if there's interest first, and then if there is. Then do an index card build out. Although, because the virtual tabletop for the index card RPG also works in the gaming in the coffee shop, there might be people who already have good index card RPG games built out who might be willing to run one. I mean, that would be great. I mean, that seems popular. The game seems popular around here. People might like to learn that. And also, that would mean that there would be no need to try to build out something custom, even though I want to put something out for the index card RPG. If somebody already has something built out inside there, Bob the World Builder. So okay, so I guess I guess we do need to reach out to Runehammer. Let me just put this on the list over here. The ever-growing list. Baron Drop. We'll ask about that. Probably a good idea. Think Bob World Builder would be interested? Okay, so that seemed like people seem to be confirming those are some pretty good suggestions. Dungeon Dudes and Colby at D4 and Treant Monk are all within the same YouTube verse. The Dungeon Dudes. I'm also just not very well connected within the YouTube community in general. It seems like remember I was thinking about also reaching out to remember was it Blood and Doom? The Blood and Doom RPG. We covered Blood and Doom here on the Morning Grind, but then also we had them on Table Talk, and that was great. So I was wondering that. Tomocrat says Bob World Builder would be great. I think he would like it. There's a con. I think they're doing near March, so that might conflict. I think that there is. Well, there are probably cons all the time, but there's also. Gamma. Because I reached out to Brian, who makes the Vast Grim RPG, and he said that was the night before that March 2nd was the night before he was going to Gamma. Or like right before he was going to Gamma or something like that. So Gamma is the trade show, of course. So but it would be great to be able to do Vast Grim because people tend to we need some horror, cybernetic fantasy or cybernetic sci-fi in there as well. And I think that would be fun. Let's see. Okay, so anyway, I put together this page here, which basically explains what's going on, and a place to sign up. So that's the place to sign up if you're interested. So this provides more information, like I said, than the Google form. Right now, I just had the Google form, which I did have people sign up on the Google form. But I was like, all right, now it's time to actually try to build something out, which I always hate having to build out pages. It takes so much time. But I went ahead. I thought this was a pretty good page that explains what's going on. We got the build out right here. And then we'll draw here. I'll get tickets up, but then we'll draw for a free entry as well when we get into it. So that's it. And if you're here, share. If you know anybody who would be interested, please do share this link. And then also what I did, when you enter your email address here, then it'll drop down, and I've got put in it's one of those things where the more things you do, the more likely you are to win what it is that you're signing up for. So I went ahead and connected the YouTube channels that I've got here, so that YouTube channels, mainly YouTube channels, so that if you are not connected to all the different channels that are going, we need something going here. But the table talk channels, dinner and a board game, that kind of thing. At least if you've come in and kind of connected here, you can subscribe. Like we said, just because you subscribe doesn't mean that YouTube's going to show you what's actually going on in that channel. But hey, it's worth a try at least to say, hey, these are all the different kinds of things that are going on. While I was building out, I went ahead and built out the dice giveaway too. When you enter your email address here, you're taken over to the dice giveaway. Because we want to do RavenCon, but then, like I said, I'm trying to relaunch the cultists as well. So I'm working on that as well. And so while I was building landing pages, I went ahead and built out the dice giveaway as well. So when you enter your email address over here, it will also take you to the Cthulhu dice giveaway as well. I wanted these things to kind of go back and forth so that you could, if you found one, you would find the other. So rather than trying to, because otherwise nobody ever will, right? So if you enter here, you have the opportunity to go over to the other one as well. So let's right here. Let's see. Dice giveaway. Let's see. Seeing what was going in comments. Okay. So anyway, I have got all of these elder dice over here that have been on the shelf, some of which are impossible to get, like the Doom Edition sets. I often roll these when I'm over here, just on the show when we're trying to play RPGs and stuff. So, but I've got that's the Doom Edition Cthulhu Elder Dice, which that was a Kickstarter. That was a Kickstarter only, but I still had a couple of boxes. I got, what I should do? I should just take these things and put them up on or bring over the video call and bring up the auxiliary camera here in just a moment. Hey, good morning, Wild Barley. The last link on the dice giveaway did not work. Oh, the last link on the dice giveaway does not. So are you talking about inside? Are you talking about here? It doesn't correctly take you to the dice giveaway? Is that what you're saying? If that's it, I will fix that as soon as I'm off the stream. I will check that out. Thank you for letting me know. It's the ellipsis. No, the last dice giveaway link is supposed to send you the RavenCon page. The dice giveaway last link. Oh. You're right. I bet that I realized actually there was an error in the name of the link, and I bet I didn't fix it back over on the dice. Okay, so I'm going to make a big note right here to make sure that you get back to that. So dice, change RavenCon link in dice giveaway. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I will fix that as soon as I'm off stream here. That's why it is. I guess that's good. We have some people here, so we have can test all of this. All right. So anyway, so I will fix up that. But yeah, so I've got a bunch of different dice here. We've got Ritual. So my idea here, I mean, so this is both RavenCon and this. So I want to do RavenCon, but I also wanted to do RavenCon and get that set up because I want to be able to do some games that we've developed for the cultists. And so the Ritual was the game that was originally developed to go with the cultists because I had the idea. A long time ago when I was trying to get all this started that we can have the different shows. But I knew that it was going to be very difficult to be able to generate enough revenue based on web series and web shows and so forth to sustain that operation. That there needed to be something that was associated with something like the cultists that would actually propel it forward. And I've been trying to figure out how to get that off the ground. By the way, if you don't know the cultists, by the way, the cultist YouTube channel is one that's linked here as well. But the cultists is the mockumentary web show that I created. And Brianna co-wrote with me, and she directed. I created, produced, and co-wrote. Brianna co-wrote and directed. We wanted to do a mockumentary-style show about modern-day Lovecraftian cultists who are just trying to worship Cthulhu in a world full of people who don't understand. And so we shot 2 seasons of this show, and I want to re-release that because I not too many people also watched the second. We're having the problem with the YouTube problem again. Not too many people watched. Very few people watched the second season, and that just wasn't going to work. It's way too good for people to have not watched the different seasons. So, especially season 2, because we got better as we went, obviously. So we created the Ritual, a party game, the game of Cthulhu cultists and ritual spell casting, a social deduction game, and then also an RPG which is based on the low stakes RPG, which is designed for emulating the feel of a mockumentary comedy. So it was perfect. So I put this together. By the way, that's our cover. So that's not, I don't think that's final, but I love that. That was Adam M. Botsford, the guy who illustrated Goodnight Sword. He did the illustration for the cover here, which I absolutely love. I think it invokes the feel of something like the cultists comedy RPG pretty well. I've got miniature sculpted. I'm going to paint some miniatures sometime of all the different cultists. And so this is just too good to not have something happen with it. So that's why I'm trying the whole relaunch. But I want to build out Ritual for additional play testing inside our coffee shops that we can play at RavenCon. And then we could also do the RPG. I got all the graphic files for Ritual. I haven't loaded them into the virtual tabletop yet, but I need to do that. I just haven't gone through this. But that was like, hey, we need the Ritual, or the online coffee shop can be a testing environment for the development of a bunch of different games as well. And of course, if you're running one, I know that like Micah and Inner Light have been creating different games as well. Of course, those can be built out and run within the coffee shop as well. But we can also experiment with the development of other games as well. So that's why I went ahead and built these 2 things out in person. Built these 2 things out together. That way they kind of cross-pollination and cross-promotion. So I got 3 different boxes of Cthulhu dice here. The red Cthulhu Elder dice. I've got a first prize here, which is 3 Elder Dice sets, the Doom Edition brand of Cthulhu, the Elder Sign, the Mark of Necronomicon. Plus, I've got a Passage of the Traveler slipcase and also one of the snapping dice roller trays. It's covered in the Eldritch symbols. And then I've got the grand prize here, which is 9 different Elder Dice sets, the Doom Edition brand of Cthulhu, Mythic Yellow Sign, Mark of the Necronomicon, Mythic Crest of Dagon, Mythic Seer's Eye, Yellow Sign, Mark of the Necronomicon. That's the Bone White on Blood and Magic variant, and the Astral Elder Sign Lay Silver on Eldritch Blue variant, plus the Colors Out of Space Doom Edition library slipcase. There's all 9 of them can fit together in one slipcase, and also one of the snapping dice trays as well. So right now, I mean, putting people on RavenCon, but when they find out that we're doing something like that, I would like to carry this into the relaunch of the Cultists as well. So really trying to get stuff going this year. And man, it's already February 9th, but been trying to get stuff going this year. So let's see. Thank you. Sable says they look gorgeous, and Mike says they look great. Hey, S. Becker. Good to see you. S. Becker was also at the test of RavenCon. So was also a part of that. And so I really appreciate everyone who showed up for that. Let's see. I'm just looking at the comments here. All right. Let's see. So I also, so for the schedule over here, I don't think I had mentioned this, but after session 0, there wasn't a whole lot to change. But what I did add over here, and we need to put some scheduling, some events here. And of course, if you want to put something on there, then we can call it out. You can call it out and put it up here. And when you get a ticket, the ticket will link to the schedule, and the schedule is editable so that if you want to run a game or you're like, hey, that you can put it on the list and call for a certain number of players or whatever. But I said explicitly there are some zones, I guess you'd call them tables in general, but they may not actually have a digital table sitting there, but that they are not connected to virtual tabletops. So for discussions and meetings only. So I was trying to be sure that, see, do I have this drop down list? So this should be, well, that says C instead of CS. Oh, okay. So, well, so I see an error right here. So what I wanted, oh, no. Wait, never mind. I remember what I was doing. Because you can reserve. That should be CS9. Coffee shop. You can reserve those, but I wanted to put a note. Up here that they're not connected to a virtual tabletop. So they can be used for other things, but not gaming. So different meetings and things like that. So all this actually needs to be CS. Let me just fix that. CS, coffee shop. If you're having like a meet and greet or just a hangout, you can reserve those, but they won't have a virtual tabletop. Okay, there we go. Yeah, apply to all. So CS9, that's a coffee shop zone. Basement 1, basement 2, basement 3, basement 12, 13, and 19 are not connected to virtual tabletops. Discussion, meetings, whatever you want to do with them, but there's no virtual tabletop connection on those locations. And then also, I should not have, did I get this right? Be 8, 9, and 10, 8, 9, 10, and 12. Be 8. So there should be no 8 on this list. That's right. Oh, no, 12 is on this list. I'm glad I'm checking. 8, 9. So I do need to remove 12. B12. That makes it not reservable. Because 8, 9, 10, and 12, I wanted there to be some locations where you could just always go and sit down and pull up a virtual tabletop. So you didn't have to worry about, hey, if I'm sitting here, is this going to be reserved space for somebody else? So tables B8, B9, B10, and B12 are for open gaming, and they aren't reservable. So they're not on the drop-down list here. So you can show up. You can always know that you can sit down there and not have to worry about somebody wanting that table for, some other game or something like that later. So those were like open gaming tables. They are connected to virtual tabletops, but they're just not reservable. So use them for pickup games, open gaming, whatever you like. And if we need to, adjust which tables are assigned to what later on, we can. But that was my idea. That's why I didn't have them on the list. The discussion zones are on the list for reservation, but not the open gaming. That's what was going on here. Let's see. S. Becker says, had a great time. Hilarious. I got a cameo on the... Yeah, you did. Yeah, yes. So I was looking at... You're right. Let's see. Lots of stuff going on in the comments here. Nobody likes confirming crits. You could still, and the thing is, you could confirm the crit, but then you could still roll low. So let's say I do want to put on here. See, one reason that I'd like to have some other people run a game, make sure there are other people running games, is because I will run games and Hero Quest here. But on the other hand, I want to be sure that things are running smoothly. And if I'm at a table, then I may not be able to handle something that comes up. Like I want to be able to, as people are coming in, especially if they're new and they haven't seen the software before and whatever, to, help people get in the right direction, move them, where they need to go, help them get where they need to be to their table and so forth. And so I'm thinking that this is going to be March 2nd. And I'm thinking that Saturday evenings, I don't think we have enough time on Fridays. Now, later we might be able to open up some space on Fridays. I was thinking about that as well. It would be neat if it were something that was over like Friday night and Saturday. But I don't think it can just be Friday, because I don't think there's enough time. People got to get off work, and I really don't want to run this until like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So I don't think there's a whole lot of time there on Friday for like a standalone independent event. I think Saturdays are probably better, like Saturday afternoon. I'm thinking about like that would be like 4 Eastern, 3 Central, 4 Eastern till like 10 or 11 at night or something like that. So there's like an 8-hour window or something in the evening on Saturdays. And of course, you don't have to be there the entire time. Once you've got the login info, you can log in at any time, log out, have dinner, whatever you need to do. It's just open for a certain amount of time. Check the schedule, get to your table, as you like. But it would be nice to be able to kind of extend it to some kind of, smaller thing on Saturdays. On Fridays, I mean. Oh, Michael says, we added a rule that says even if you didn't confirm with a crit on a successful crit roll, you did max damage, but not double damage. Oh. All right. So that was what I was thinking there. Time, game, enter VTT code. Now, I'm thinking about, especially if it were something that were open, if the coffee shop were something that were open more than just for one particular event, that what you do is you put the files that'll enable you to create those games on playingcards.io on the help file, because we've got this running help file to help people know if for any particular game, here's some information on how to run it. Here's maybe a link to the rules PDF so that you have that available. Also, some of the games I've done like a how to play in 5 minutes. So if you've never played it all before, well, here's a 5-minute rundown on how to play this game to kind of get you comfortable to sit down at a table anyway. But right now at the moment, I have to load all of the save files into the VTT. So if people are want to play a game, they can put this on here and they go, oh, okay, listen, I need a Wizard's Quest, or I need a Hero Quest, or whatever. Load that up and then put the VTT code here. That way the game master and all of the players have that. This is the URL that goes to your particular table. That way everybody, when they log in, can sit down at that particular table. But it may be, especially if it's something that's open more often, that I don't want to have to be making the setting it up every time, especially if there's something spontaneous happening. What if you can't get in touch with me? What if you want to play? So you need to be able to have those links, be able to get access to the save files of all the different games on the virtual tabletop, and then put it out, right? And then get it set up and then give everybody the code. And of course, I don't think this even has to be, this could also become just a running schedule as you go down. It doesn't have to be at a particular event. If we get it set up so that anytime you just want to log in and play, you can put out a call for games. Well, we just can put the, miss this out NA here and put the date and time and whatever. Got a slot here for the game master, or at least the organizer, because sometimes there might not be a game master for a game, like at Wizard's Quest or something like that. There'd be no game master, but there might be somebody who's like responsible for organizing the game. So game master, organizer, notes, and then number of players as well. Up to 10 players, But if you don't want 10 players or can't have 10 players for a particular game, then just, put gray out the box. That way, that how many players are available here. I'm thinking that people, I'm sure, will just show up, but I think it would be better if once you get the link and the ticket to log in, you're sent the link to the schedule so that you can see what's going on. And I think it'd be best if you actually reserved. I think that would be best. So that way, there aren't 9 people who all want to play a game of Hero Quest, and then there are only 5 players available, inclusive of Zargon in that case. And we would also know, we need to open up another Hero Quest table, and we can just do that. Charlie says, I would love to run games in the coffee shop, reading Shadow Dark right now. Okay, well, great. Let's get in touch then. And we'll put you on the list. That would be great. Let's see. Michael says, are the VTT codes private to invitee to prevent people from crashing the party? Anybody who has the VTT code can get in, but you're not just going to find that. Like, if you're worried about people just finding that online, I don't think you're going to be able to just find, you're not going to be able to go to playingcards.io and see, look, here's an event to get in on. That's not, and crash the party like you're talking about. So they're public in the sense that if you have the link, you can access it. You don't have to log into anything, which is really nice. Once you're into the virtual coffee shop, that allows you to build out your avatar. And I think you get like a 30-second demo of how to actually use it and walk around and how the different private spaces work. But once you log into that, neither the playingcards.io tabletops or the index card RPG playing cards tabletop requires a login from the player. Now, the index card does for the game master, because the game master sets it up that way. But otherwise, once you got the link, you don't have to go through any type of login or registration process, which is really nice. But they're not publicly posted anywhere. Wait, we do need, I see a lot of stuff. Like, I want to get, I hope that it's easier to create RPGs based on what I've already built out. Because I went to a lot of work to build out Shadow Dark because it was just sitting right here. And I was like, oh, look, the Shadow Dark Kickstarter just came in. Let's play Shadow Dark. And let's build that out. Took me a little while to figure out exactly how to do it and what the best kind of way is. But since I've already built some of that out, I'm hoping that I can replicate that for Index Card RPG. Or we probably need just something for, like, what if we get somebody to play Deathbringer or run Deathbringer? Well, then, like, what do we need to play Deathbringer? Probably what you need to play Deathbringer is very similar to a bunch of the other 5e different kinds of games. So we will see. I'm hoping that I can start filling out more different kinds of games here. Oh yeah, and speaking of West End games, Star Wars. Everybody seemed to be very interested in Star Wars. But anybody can build out one of these VTTs on playingcards.io. If there's something that you really want to play, you can definitely create it. Or if you're trying to create your own game and want it play tested, things like that, and you can bring your own game as well. Oh yeah. Good morning, TSL. Okay, so what else do I need to say about this at the moment? If you're just coming in, let me put this sign up right here. A RavenCon sign up. This is the interest list. I'm also wondering how many people to have. The software itself can handle a lot of people, like the coffee shop software in it simultaneously. But on the other hand, we had 6 people in it for the test. How big does RavenCon need to be? Right? I'm sure there will be issues that come up, just because that's natural, that come up when it comes to scaling something. that, you know, might not come up otherwise. So I don't know if I want to jump in and go, hey, we can have 300 people in. I mean, that's an advantage to being a smaller group right now, that, well, we can start off by saying, I don't know, 50 people or something, and then scale up. That might be how we go. So I'm not sure how many tickets will be available. There will always be a limit because the software doesn't support an unlimited number of people. But I'm thinking that maybe, I don't know, we'll judge what type of interest we've got, and then I'll decide, okay, what type of ticketing, how many tickets should actually be available. Because of course, just because you're interested doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna be available on that day anyway. And then do another event soon. Let's see. Yes. Okay. So March 2nd. Yes. So March 2nd. That's a Saturday. That seems like the day to go. That seems like the day for the first one. That doesn't mean it's the only one, but it seems like maybe we should be able to get organized for at least a smaller kind of RavenCon event on March 2nd and play. I'm excited about that. I was looking at different software. I guess I could talk about this for just a moment. But if we wanted to make it something that was more permanent, if we have enough people who are interested, I was trying to look up like what type of system you have to integrate some other kind of system in order to run it and keep it live day to day. Which that could be fun too. I mean, we could start playing in there next week. I've got something to do next Friday, but I would be fine with playing some games even as early as next week. But we'd have to come up with some other system to keep it live and to handle like the month-to-month kind of thing. There's an issue with doing that because some people were like, oh, well, the channel membership's here. If you want to be part of the coffee shop, then the channel memberships here on YouTube would be a great way to do that. Well, not really. It turns out that's actually not a great way to do. And one of the reasons is actually because YouTube is a rather expensive way to transfer money. I mean, YouTube keeps 30% of the funds that come in through like a channel membership and super chats and all of that as well. And of course, I've got to pay to run the coffee shop software as well. And it's like, man, adding 30% to that just to cover YouTube's fees is quite a bit. So something like Patreon or Locals does fix some of that problem because they're not as expensive as far as those kinds of things go. But also, I was looking at Locals and I was seeing that Locals allows you to post, allows members to post, whereas Patreon does not. So Patreon and Locals both are about 10%. But the issue with Patreon is that it doesn't allow members to post. And see, this kind of thing needs to be a community. So like Patreon would just be like me, the coffee shop, to everybody else. But that doesn't really help organic formation of different games. Like somebody else needs to post like, hey, I'm available to run this game tonight or something like that. And Locals does allow you to do that. Now, a downside to Locals is that there's no, at Patreon, there's can be multiple tiers. But in Locals, there's just one flat amount to access. Now, on the other hand, that simplifies things. And typically I am in favor of simplifying things whenever I can. But maybe that would be good. Just here's an amount for some monthly access to this. So I was looking at both of those. I was looking at those. James says I would join a RavenKeep table talk. Yeah. Well, see, I think that yeah. I mean, you can bring in another Discord server. I mean, that's possible. See, I think that it would just need to be, if I do something like that, I think it would just need to be online gaming focused, because there's a lot of different projects that I've been doing. I've been working on a bunch of different, channels and different brands and things like that. And the problem is that, well, most people don't like all of those things. So, it's always, do you put things together so that you have enough material, or do you separate things because of the different brands and things like that? So like people who might be interested in online gaming, or like, that's another problem with like doing it through the YouTube channel, is you might be very interested in doing the online gaming, but you're not really interested in the morning grind and being a part of, the YouTube stuff. This might not be the kind of thing you do. Whereas if it's if its own separate thing, then people can come in and just get that. So if I do that, I think it needs to be like, not talking about table talk, not talking about the cultists or dinner and a board game or the morning show, the morning grind, any of that. I think it would need to be just focused on, this is the place you go for online gaming. I think that would be the way to go. Lynn says, sounds like somebody needs to come up. There's always a problem. There's always, it seems like no matter what you're trying to do, to you, it always seems like what I'm trying to do is just really basic here, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the case. It seems like every different kind of system has some type of thing that it does that you wish it didn't, or doesn't do something that you think is really obvious that you need to do. Shopify is really bad about that. All right. So, but I can't do everything. Yeah, actually, people have said do a crowdfunding app. I have no idea how to do that, but you'd be amazed actually how often somebody says, just build your own crowdfunding app. Michael says, my vote is for a patron-only Discord server for RavenCon. As true for payment systems as it is for RPGs. Yeah, so yeah, I'll just solve world hunger while I'm at it. Yeah, and not only can you find things that almost do what you need, but not quite, trying to integrate systems. I'm actually amazed that the coffee shop and the tabletop games are integrate like they do, because it always seems like, man, I got this system and I got this system and I need to put these together, and they just work, and they come close to working, but they don't, and so you can't actually use it. So I'm actually amazed that all of these things actually do integrate. Oh, Robert says, I built my own crowdfunding app. It'll be released next year. Okay, well, there you go. Robert's on that. Yeah, I know. This not something I don't even know how to do that. But it always seems like, for some reason, people always tell me you should create your own crowdfunding. But I think that there are other systems. I mean, if you're talking about just crowdfunding, I mean, GameFound. I've set Ritual up on GameFound. It does things that Kickstarter should have done. BackerKit now does its own crowdfunding because it has a good back end. So I mean, there are a lot of people who have done a much more, who have much more capabilities than that, who are trying to solve that problem. All right. Well, I guess that was all I've got to say this morning. I'm going to work on trying to get the word out here. I'm going to fix that link. So thank you. I got the note here to fix that link. And then I'm going to reach out to some of the people who have been recommended here. I'm going to put the link in here one more time. RavenCon sign up. And then I'll reach out to people and let them know what is going on and see what we can make up here. I think it'll be fun. I think we've got a great community, and hey, it sure would be nice to be able to play some of these games that we talk about so often here on the Morning Grind. That's what I'm trying to do. I've been saying for months, for maybe a year, like, how could we come up with some type of system to actually play these games? I've been ruminating on this subject for about a year here on the Morning Grind. How do you come up with a way to actually allow people to play an online community like this, to actually get together and play some of these games? I was working on that. It's taken a while, but I think I came up with it. I think it's going to be a really good foundation for further game development and gameplay and community building and all that. Okay. If you know anybody, Owlbear Rodeo. I have not even checked to see if that would integrate into the coffee shop. All right. I will see everybody later. What's today? Friday? All right. I'm going to be working on this. So I guess I will see everybody tomorrow morning. Everybody, go forth. Have a great day. Be creative. Be constructive. And share that link. If you know anybody who might be interested, please share the sign-up link with them. That would be huge. I would appreciate it. And we'll get the word out. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye.